What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for finding your boy. I hope that you came here to learn about the R5 Mark II. Before we get all into it, if you could, please like, subscribe, follow, turn on notifications, because I know it's been a long time since I made a video. I think February 20th was the last time I made a video and posted one on here. I just been so busy. I won't even get into all the happenings and why that is. It's just like life was been busy and so fun. Actually, I got so many videos that I want to make for y'all because I got so many pieces of new things, and I actually got a couple videos that I made I never released, and I will do it. I kind of wanted to get this one out of the way first because I love the camera. So that's why it's been a delay. But we here for the R5 Mark II. As you can see, I got the box right here, and I'm using the camera right now. And matter of fact, this whole video, everything you are going to see captured is captured on the R5 Mark II. So you're not going to see me having it with my hand like and doing all the demo like in this setting, but you will see B-roll using the R6 Mark II just to show off some B-roll and the fact. But believe me, I got it. It's right here. Canon don't know me. They didn't pay for none of this. I bought it with my own money from my local camera store, Dot Camera, right here. So don't worry about the opinion and all that kind of stuff. Because I've seen a lot of the stuff on the internet. A lot of people really kind of like was going down the middle with this camera. Now they kind of backtrack and talking about it. It is a really good camera, and the dynamic range of the photos and yada yada yada, the battery and all this kind of stuff. And I got thoughts on all of it, man. So, excuse me, still doing that. I got thoughts on all of it, and I'm just gonna break it down to you because when I got the camera, I actually pre-ordered it a few days after it was able to be pre-ordered, and I got the camera from Dot like 2-3 days after. So I actually had a good weekend to use it in almost every aspect of the features that I really love and I wanted to see. So I had like 4 or 5 events or something like that I was able to kind of get some actual data points from of the camera. So we're gonna jump into first initial thoughts. My first initial thoughts with this camera is that, man, it just feels good. Like I haven't had a camera like this. This is my first time having a really, really, really good camera. And all cameras good. I'm just talking about like, man, I spent some money. This thing's $4,300. Had the R6 Mark II, which is a fantastic camera. Still will use it. But this one right here is just different, man. Like it's a 5 series Canon, and if you know the 5 series history, it's some of the best out there, man. Like the 5D Mark IV is like a legendary camera. People still use that thing to today, and some of the others. And R5 was considered one of the best cameras of all time. You know what I mean? Like from Canon. And so now they came out with a 2. I was excited to get my hands on something that had a lot of the features, checked a lot of the boxes. And so, I was anxious to pick it up, and it feels good. It just feels like how I wanted it to feel. You know what I'm saying? It's weighty, and the caveat with it is that I've been using it and it is heavier, so my wrist was kind of hurting this weekend. Not no joke. Like the R6 Mark II is what I had and one, and those are light compared to these. I mean, and then for me, when I throw on the 28 to 70 RF, boy, that lens by itself is 3 pounds. So you add it to whatever this thing weigh, boy, I'm out here vlogging and my arm was giving out. I'm like, your boy need to hit the gym or something, man. This is crazy.
Actually, I do have one more little fact.
All right, let's give me a break. This shit is this camera, that new camera heavy, man. Look, show ain't what it used to be. So we're gonna get to what we're gonna get to. And then we'll be right back. But the star of the show for me, the star of the show, y'all, is CLOG 2. I've been wanting CLOG 2 for the longest time, just because I've been watching videos and people say how much dynamic range that it has, and the quality that they can get out of it, and the shadows and the highlights. And I've never had anything like this. So on paper, it all sounds good. So I'm just kind of like anxious to see it. I've never even seen it like actually used in like color. You know what I mean? Like I seen YouTube, but that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was anxious to have it, and oh my goodness, it is the absolute star of this show. And I'll get into what I feel, this camera does for me or what it doesn't do for me, in my final verdict. But right now, I can tell you this camera, the colors are absolutely insane. And this is coming from a person that I didn't have nothing like this. So y'all probably like, man, we know this is, if that's you, thanks for watching this video. But, I wish I could provide something that you don't know, but yeah, it's just amazing. So if you are looking to get like CLOG 2 or you want to experience it, let me tell you, my mind is blown. Like it is that good. Colors were fantastic. It's kind of easy to color grade to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but it didn't feel hard to color grade. It felt easier because you had so much more space to do certain things with the colors and how you wanted to look. So in that sense, to me, it was a little bit easier coming from CLOG 3 and the R6 Mark II. So, more dynamic range to me gave me an easier playground. That's just my thoughts on it. The second thing that I really like about it is it's got waveform like on the screen that you can actually use now. And to my understanding, that's something new in the Canon cameras. I don't know if any other camera system has that, but I think this is newer to Canon. And let me tell you, I've used waveform to color grade all my videos and it's worked out. I ain't saying I'm the best, but it has worked out for me. And the fact that it is right here on the screen and I'm going to point to where I think it is on my little recorder right here, it is amazing. I'm telling you, like, oh my goodness, because you can see, your highlights and your darks and the midtones in real time. And the best part about it is it stays up on the screen when you are actually using the recording. You know what I mean? The downside to it is, it is grain. I don't know if you could change that. You might be able to. And, again, y'all probably like, man, don't you know these things? Honestly, I got the camera, like I said, with now as the time of this posting about a week ago, I had a furious like week, where I was literally like kind of trial by fire with the camera and learning things on the go. And I'll explain what I mean when I get to more of the video aspects of it. But so I don't know if you could change the color of it, and I wish it was transparent when it's on the screen when you're recording, because sometimes it will block out some of your face because the screen is not large enough on the back LCD monitor here, and on my recorder it looks fine because the screen is a big screen. So, but yeah, I love it. I mean, I feel like my colors have gotten so much better. I can read in real time. Fantastic. The tally lamp is fantastic. It's simple. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this because I can tell you when I'm recording. Like I can tell when, hey, look, I'm sending it up right now. My leg is itching. It's pretty cool because before you got to look and see if the little red box was around. That's kind of hard. Or sometimes you got to see like if you can read the recording. I got glasses on, so that's kind of tough for me to kind of just look and be like, what's going on now? I could definitely see. The other cool thing about this is that when your camera starts to overheat, it starts to blink really fast. So you kind of know it's about to be up. If you are recording something and you see that, you time to call timeout on the play, big dog. Another good thing, I probably should have put this. I didn't rank any of these, but I probably should have put this higher up on my talking points. White balance. Again, don't know if this is in all the other cameras. I'd imagine it is because I don't have the high expensive cameras, but I'd imagine they got to do this. But or maybe even R5C. But people didn't talk about it. Man, 5 different white balance settings, and the benefit of that is if you have a job and it's got multiple different lighting areas and you want to white balance it all, you could do that. At least up to 5 different ones. I think it's 5. I just scrolled to 5, so it might be more, but that's amazing because like when I'm in a location and I need to do some, man, it probably sucks a little bit to kind of keep switching between them. You know what I'm saying? Like on the fly. But I guess if you're going in the setting, you probably will know, hey, look, I need to switch to this. That's again touch and go type of situation, but I love it. Now, the again, I probably should have ranked this because I'm recording the screen as you see, and they got the face recognition feature, and the face recognition feature, absolutely amazing, y'all. Absolutely amazing. You can program up to 10 people, and they prioritize 1 to 10, 1 being the most prioritized, 10 being the least. So if you have people that you want to shoot, or if you want to capture, or if you are vlogging like this, you see the box around my face with the little people next to it. It recognizes me. You know what I mean? Like, so no matter what I do, I can move my hand across my face. It still captures me, and it's not picking up anything or jumping around in the back. Man, that's so good, especially for vlogging. Especially if you have for photos too, you know, multiple people in there, wedding day, you want to get the bride, you want to get the groom, and you don't want it to like zoom in on the pastor or focus on the pastor, I'm sorry, or anybody else. Confidence is key right here. This camera will do it. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So love that. That's one of those settings I use all the time now. Can't live without it at all. So I have Sarah and myself programmed to the face recognition, and you can see how both of us are still in focus. She's got the priority, so she might be a little hint more clear than I am, but I don't think so. We did this before. Let me see. No, we both look good. So, man, this Canon snap with this one. I promise you that. Another feature that I can't live without is the 4K 120. Most of you all are probably like, get over it. But again, this is my first time having it. Having buttery smooth slow motion in 4K is absolutely a godsend. Yes, I've had 4K 60, slowed it down, 50% to get the 30 frames. I've done that. It's fantastic. That works good too. But it's something about that 120 being able to go down to 25% or either 50% and still having the slow motion. Ooh, and it's 4K also. With this sensor, is amazing. Plus, the audio, you can keep the audio so you can get creative. What I've done on some videos is you make a duplicate of the video, right? And then you slow down one of the videos and just keep the audio from the other. Now you got some pretty cinematic footage of fast-paced audio, normal speed audio with slow motion. You can do it. Is just, I don't know, that's just me. I'm loving this thing, man. Like, this just amazing, just amazing. One more that's kind of like my transition between video and pictures. The memory card. So this camera uses CF Express B memory card and SD memory card. You can go up to 2 terabytes with the memory card with the CF Express Type B. I have 1 gig pro grade gold super fast speeds, not the Iridium. That's way too much money. But pro grade, if you want to holler at your boy, talk to me. So I do have, those, and they are fantastic. But not just the speed is good is one thing, and I'm sure most of you all know. If you don't know, CF cards are very fast. It's the fact now that the camera will itemize video and photo. So if you are a hybrid shooter like me, and like this camera is meant for, you don't have to worry about sifting through all those files just to pick out the video and the pictures. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do that, and that is fantastic. Now it puts it in separate folders. Also, you get proxy files if you wanted to. You can record to one memory card and a proxy file to the next one. So if you have large files, you don't have to bog down your computer or hard drive space with. It is just beautiful that you can do something like that. And now it's all itemized on there. Now, kind of transitioning to photography. Yeah, it's fantastic for photography, man. Like, I didn't start with that one because this one is a little bit more straightforward. 45 back illuminated, 2 sensor camera. Come on now, man. Look, it's just amazing. It's a dog of a camera. Like, the images that you get are fantastic. You got the face recognition that I already told you about. The pre-continuous shooting. Now that is fantastic. It shoots 30 frames a second, right? But also you can do like 15 frames per second if you lightly press down on the shutter button and then fully press it, it'll go. You'll capture 15 seconds before. So a lot of bird watching videos have been out, but I was out with a lot of my shots and just people regular activity, and it's good for that too. And so I was using that a lot this past weekend. Woo! You will destroy your memory space. You will, because you can love it and you can just forget that what you're doing. You know, especially coming from a 24 megapixel camera, you start messing with a 45 megapixel, you don't realize those file sizes are like double, triple sometimes. And pre-continuous burst fire, whoo, good luck. Good luck. One more photography feature I want to talk about is the upscaling, JPEG upscaling. It only works on JPEGs, but you can upscale the video, and I think that's a fantastic thing because if you are in a pinch, and I've been in those situations where you work a job and a client is like, hey, can I get some of these to post on social media right now? And you could very well just take the JPEGs and send them off right there. 'Cause sometimes I'll shoot in RAW, C RAW, or and as well as simultaneously with JPEG so that I have those files for those situations. Now you can do that and upscale an image if you have to, and it upscales to 180 gig megabyte file, and it upscales into a 180 megapixel image. So yes, large file, but you can make it better, especially if you got one that's a little bit noisy. You can fix that in post, and or just send them a better, bigger file if you wanted to. I don't know, the example of sending to social media is one that you would probably want to do because it's a 180 megapixel picture. So I don't know if you'll want to do it, but having an option, cool to have. Will I use it all the time? Realistically, probably not. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something that I'm doing all the time, but it's really dope that the sensor in this camera can do that. And I'm kind of excited to see what is next for this camera. One new thing I want to talk about, which is not a bad thing at all, but just something to think about, is there's a ton of video features here, and like a ton of different combinations and what works with that. And if you are coming from, again, R6 Mark II or something similar, you know, it can be overwhelming. And for me, transparency is key right here, man. It was overwhelming. It was a lot, you know what I mean? Like, and to the point where it wasn't a bad thing, but you can almost get yourself in trouble by not knowing what you're doing. You know, you might record in a larger file, and honestly, it's blatant right there on the camera. It'll tell you what file size is going to be, right? But if you don't know and you're not paying attention, you want to kind of go. And again, I was on the fly, just trying to move. You know, I had some super large files, man, like video, and then some things just didn't work. And, you know, I don't know. It's a lot to learn. So take your time, learn it, and then, you know, kind of go. But you can do whatever your heart's desire, really, honestly. All right, so check it out. I'm in different clothes for a reason. If you saw this video when I had a different part, you're not tripping. I did edit this part and reload this video up. Okay, reason why is because in that previous version of this same video, I said that overheating was a problem, and I wasn't entirely wrong, but I wasn't entirely accurate. And I want to be accurate because my mind just couldn't let me think that, hey, they done came out with a camera and is just as bad as I just couldn't sleep with that, right? But I put that video out maybe a wee bit too early. I'm man enough to admit that. So here's the new take on this camera, hence the reason why I'm in different clothes. Okay, so the overheating, absolutely not a problem. Okay, I just want to say, right now I am shooting in 4K fine mode, intra, at 23.97 frames per second, and I have absolutely no problem. I did a test. This test, it showed I stopped it at an hour, like an hour and four, because it was already just good, right? I knew the data I was going to get. I'm not really shooting over an hour like that anyway, straight, but it's good to know that I could do that. So I stopped it right there. So bingo, that's good. The 4K 120, that's more the same. It's going to overheat. I didn't do any tests on that, but I've seen 23 to 30 minutes or so online. I'm led to believe that. The issue that I was having, the reason why I thought the overheating was not fixed, is because I shoot at 30 frames per second at 4K, the fine equivalent or the highest level 4K on the R6 Mark II, and that works perfectly fine. Translate that to this R5 Mark II camera here, that's not the case. It will overheat. New test that I did, I think yesterday I said like 17, 20 minutes. This new test got me about 30, minutes on average with 4K fine at intra 30 frames per second. Okay, so still not bad for 30 frames per second. But to me, I was like, bro, that's not the case. Like, what is going on? This is horrible. So I understand that I probably have to drop down to 24 frames per second, which is not bad. I got comfortable with 30 frames per second. It just looked a little bit better to me. I don't know. Just personal preference. Absolutely no problem with 4K 24 or 24 frames per second in general. So that's what I'll be doing because this thing works like a charm. Which brings me to the overall point of this camera, a new verdict, if you will. This camera is damn near perfect. Like, it's not too much that I could say negative about this camera. I don't want to take the other two issues out that I said, the green and black screens. They haven't happened to me in a little bit, but they have happened twice since I had the camera within a week, I want to say now as of this recording. So, you know, those little issues which I do feel like are firmware updates, those are still there. But as far as everything else, this camera has upgraded everything that I want. It is a beautiful camera, feels good. Everything is like pretty much perfect with this camera. So, Canon, good job. People, thank you for rocking with your boy. I'm just trying to be honest here on what on what I initially saw. But I just wanted to put this back out there real quick. Re-edit this and do right by people. Because if you're listening, I want you to get right information. So on that note, I'll see you next time. Peace.